Hello and welcome to Thursday. Merry Christmas, or when you're watching this, I guess Happy Boxing Day. Today was a lot of fun. Today was an early start for me. I got up at like a little bit before 6 because I had a bunch of stuff to do, and part of that meant cooking. So there were two things that I needed to cook. First off was just some pastries that I normally make, and the second thing would be crab rangoon. So a couple of days ago, a friend was she gets these craving, like it's one of her favorite foods, so she'll get a craving every now and then and just needs to make it a big deal, right? Because why not, right? Just go out, treat yourself to some crab rangoon. So, as part of that, I joked one night that instead of cooking, like what should I have for dinner, and I joked, oh, I should probably have some crab rangoon or whatever. I already had that was the night I fried up those chicken cutlets, and I was joking to myself. I was joking with some people. Just yeah, let's. I could go to the Chinese restaurant and grab something. They didn't have, and there was like nothing really in the frozen aisle of the grocery store as I was going there. I think that was when I was going to buy mozzarella. So, I said, maybe I'll do it for sometime later. And then here we are today. Yesterday I took up just some imitation crab or whatever, threw it in the food processor, blitzed it for a couple of seconds, then emptied that out, tossed some cream cheese in, 2 blocks of it because it was just enough for that. Blitzed that just to like whip it up and get it in decent texture. Chopped up some green onion, and then I also tossed that in the blender just to whip it around. I didn't really care about the shape of it or anything because it was going to be in a fried food. And then just combine that with some seasonings and a little bit of soy sauce, mix it all together, added the crab back in, mixed it all together again, and there we had our mixture. So I took that, and if I can find the image here. We took our little mixture, let it sit up in the fridge for overnight, and then this morning I got to work. So I got some wonton wrappers, just took a tablespoon, put it right in the middle, and I went with this like little rectangular shape as opposed to doing anything fancy because first time doing it, why not, right? Like, let's be safer than sorry. So I did that. Was heating up the oil, and at the time my mom was cooking seafood fried rice, so we had like shrimp and squid in there, and a couple pieces of shrimp. So I took it and then just took a couple pieces of shrimp like that were half cooked, tossed in the wonton wrapper. Came out amazing, like really really good, so, like extremely good, too good to have been. Yeah, it was very good. So I was like, okay, this is a success. We can proceed. So I tossed in one of the crab filled ones, and it came out very solid. And eventually we had uh, this, which is like over 60 pieces of crab rangoon. I think the final count was like 63, not counting how many were eaten along the way. So, it was a hit. It was a hit. Everybody loved it. It's a very great snacking food, I've learned. You can just grab one when you're doing whatever, and you're picking out food for yourself. Just, oh, let me grab one. Oh, I'm walking by. Let me grab one. So, I think that's become a future staple. It's just so hard to do because you have a bunch of oil. You need to fry it. So we'll figure things out as we get as it becomes more popular, but it's looking like to be a staple, and it is a bit of effort, but I'm willing to put that effort in because the payoff was so good. So we had a wonderful time, just socializing, eating, drinking, watching football. At some point during the night, after the football game on Netflix, it ended right at 8 o'clock, which meant it was the release of Stranger Things Season 5 Part 2. So my dad was just kind of he was kind of hyping it up, but then he actually put it on, and two other people in the at the party were Stranger Things fans, so they were just sitting there watching it, and everybody else was like, okay, I guess we're gonna go play card games in the other room. So that's what happened. But before that, uh, we were playing code names. You know, during the football game, we were playing code names just to pass the time, just to have some fun. And I'm not so sure if I've talked about code names, but the way code names work is that it's basically word association. So, oh, the box is upside down, so I should probably do this, and I'm gonna do this. There we go. And then yeah, okay. So you have, yeah. The Spy Master says hot 2. Can you find 2 words that relate to hot with and win the game? So I would immediately think like hot dog and fire for that. But you know, we live in current year, so people might go, "Oh, hot honey," or like, you know, that's a word association. Instead of dog, you could say like animal 2 and it'd be, or animal 3, and you get turkey, dog, and cat. So there's things like that, right? It's just basic word association. And after going back and forth like that, whoever finishes their board first wins. And it was a lot of fun. My uncle did the funniest thing in the night. We had wind and thumb for our last 2 that we needed to guess. So when it comes to the turn, he just yells, "Plumb Bob," with his thumb sticking out like that. He goes, "Plumb Bob," and everybody is just kind of just dying of laughter because nobody knows what this means. So we just like, we immediately guessed thumb because he was like this. So we're like, okay, it's got to be thumb. But then we're trying to figure out, what does this word mean? And I don't have anything decent here to portray it, do I? I do not. At least within arm's reach. But, actually no. This might work. But I... Okay, so I have a umbrella that I put my hangers on that's also hanging on something. But a plumb bob is... just ignore the hangers. Something like on a string, and like something's tied at the bottom. Like I immediately thought Sims, right? You know, like the little green thing that Sims have over their head. That's called a plumb bob. But you know, I was thinking the what if you look it up? I think it's like something attached to a string, and if you hold it like it's like this, right? You would see which way the wind is blowing. You see a bunch of like different like wind conditions is what it essentially came down to. And I can't put this back in a significant way without being right in front of the sets. Yeah, okay, well, look, there go the hangers. I guess that means I could show this off. So you would hold it like this, and you're like, oh, the wind is blowing this way because it's swinging this way, or this direction. And things like that. So there's your word of the day. Do some more research into that. We thought maybe like if by no like nothing, or like maybe fishing bobber or something is what somebody came up with, and we were just kind of stumped, and we're like, who knows. But that was definitely one of the highlights of the night, and we're probably gonna remember that forever. So it was a lot of fun. And yeah, it's pretty late. It's actually, yeah, a little past midnight, but what can you do? But a lot of fun, and a great way to kind of round off the end of the year. This week is going to be like a little bit of purgatory kind of thing up until New Year's, where a lot of stuff happened in New Year's, and a lot of stuff planned for the first couple of weeks of January. After that, we don't really have too much going on. At least I don't think so, but too many things happening, and looking forward to all of those. Okay, that's what we're going to call it for today, so thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, and until then, later.